This is the Google Pixel 6, and dare I say, the potential value it's bringing even at this early stage where Google look like they are offering a near enough true flagship experience for as accessible a price as you can get. From the new Google Tensor chip powering the Pixel 6 and new camera hardware since as far back as the Pixel 2, what's it like after spending 48 hours with the Pixel 6? Well, let me try and answer that question with what is my first impressions of the Google Pixel 6. Let's go. Hi, Ben from Lover of Tech. If you enjoy videos like this and you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the notifications so you're part of Team TLS, the Tech Lover Squad, so you don't miss any future videos on the Pixel 6, because boy, I've got a lot fired in place for the Pixel 6. Let's get a couple of things out of the way. This is an impressions video and not a review, because at the time of this recording, I've just had the Pixel 6 for about 2 days, just under, so I definitely need more time testing it because there is a lot to get through and test with the Pixel 6. And on top of that, at the time of this video, I'm only allowed to show you the phone itself, give you a first look, give you as much technical specs as possible, and show you just the home screen and pretty much nothing else. Everything will come in a full experience review, so definitely stick around and don't miss that. With that out of the way, let's get into it with the Pixel 6. As always, let's start from the outside and work our way in with the design and the overall build quality of the Pixel 6. And with my initial impressions so far, I have to say it's solid. This is a good size for a Pixel phone, coming in with a 6.4-inch display and frame. If you look at the materials, they're using top ones with Corning Gorilla Glass Victus at the front and Gorilla Glass 6 at the back, plus a very nice matte black finish for the metal frame, which feels really tactile and nice. And it weighs around 207 grams and feels well balanced. Look, there are some things to consider when it comes to the overall finish of the device, especially when you're using it without a case. Let's remember that statement, using it without a case. Look, firstly, the front display of the Pixel 6 is flat, and as I much prefer a flat display myself, this is such a good look. Thank you for this one, Google. Next is the button placement. This part is where I'm just not used to the Pixel 6 when you compare it to other phones that I've used in the past and also very recently. Both the power button and the volume rocker are on the right side. And look, I much prefer two separate buttons for the volume up and down. So it's not much of a big deal it being a rocker, just saying. The most confusing part though is the fact that the power button is at the top and the volume rocker is at the bottom, which lands perfectly on my thumb. Look, you're probably thinking, hey Ben, Lover of Tech, what's good? Like, why is that even such a problem? Well, the size of the volume rocker itself feels much like the size of some power buttons that I've used recently on phones. And because it lands perfectly on my thumb, it like psychologically, I'm always thinking it's actually the power button. So when I go and double press it to launch the camera, I'm actually changing the volume down or up, which still just feels so unusual to me. So yeah, just putting it out there. This is what I would have preferred. Two separate volume buttons on the left side, which are directly symmetrical to the right, and then use this large volume rocker as an actual power button. Look, it's probably not a big deal to most people, right? It's a small thing. Let's just say it as that. So I don't know, I just hope I can get used to it very soon. And last is the back of the Pixel 6, which without a doubt is the most distinctive characteristic of the device. And then let's look at it for what it is for a moment, right? Without thinking that, hey, I'm just gonna put a case on it. I know that's the easy answer. Let's digest it for how it's been designed, bareback with nothing on it. Cool. Now the model I have is the Stormy Black color, and as nice as this color is, I don't like glossy finishes at all. And look, I do believe that other colors for the Pixel 6 in the UK with the sort of sea foam and the kind of coral are also using glossy, so you won't find a matte finish anywhere. Case or no case, look, I'm just not a fan of glossy finishes, and I just really wish Google at least had one matte finish in the range, because this phone is slippery and it's just not as nice feeling as a matte finish. Last is the horizontal camera bump, which not only adds character to the Pixel 6, but also affects the handling when using it without a case. Again, another important statement, without a case. And look, I think it's unique, it's clean, and it does a great job hiding the dual cameras. And what it also does do is stop the phone from rocking in any way when you actually lay it flat using it on the table, which is kind of like a nice convenience. Again, another interesting thing is the fact that because of how the camera bump is, when holding the Pixel 6, my index finger lands perfectly underneath the camera bump and almost acts like a support connection, which then makes it easier for me to reach the power button when using my thumb without the phone feeling like it's just about to slide away. Very interesting. Look, as a recommendation with any investment like this, it's always recommended to use a case, and most people are going to do that anyway. So look, all these little things I've discovered in terms of the handling so far within what is like a day or two, it's probably not something that's going to mean much to you, right? But it's just very interesting that I noticed it, and I don't know if it was an intentional design by Google, but it's just very interesting to me. Now, what you're going to find is the usual IP68 water and dust resistance is here, USB-C and dual speakers. And I'm not sure if I can demonstrate it, but I'll keep it on the safe side and just pretty much say that the speakers here are not bad. They've got a nice bassy feel to them. They're decent in terms of the loudness as well. But overall, these are the things I've found in terms of the design, build and handling of the Pixel 6 so far. Now for the display on the Google Pixel 6, and this is one that they've definitely put a good one in here. It's a flat 6.4-inch display, which is using OLED. It has a resolution of Full High Definition Plus at 2400 by 1080p, and it's using a 90 Hz high refresh rate panel. Now the size of the display feels plenty sharp with the resolution, and it's plenty bright as well so far. So I was looking and thinking that maybe the borders were gonna bother me, but so far they seem to be okay. And I think the fact that they're consistent all around really helps with it. Now, the biggest advantage to me is the fact that a flat display comes with a top tier experience when you're using it with typing and pretty much no accidental touches as well. So I know many people are gonna be a big fan of this. Backed by the fact that now Google are using an optical in-display fingerprint scanner for the biometric unlock, which my preferred location for the fingerprint unlock is in the front. So I am definitely happy to see this move this time around. Now the read itself works good enough for now. More testing is needed, especially with the haptic feedback. But as it's optical, just make sure when using it, turn on the always on display to help you locate the fingerprint section without needing to wake up the display fully. There is also a single hole punch at the top center for the selfie camera, but at the time of this recording, there is no convenient face unlock. That might come later, but I thought let me just stay out there. What you can also do is drop the refresh rate down to 60 Hz if you wanted to save battery in that way. But you know what? So far, I'm very happy with the display and it's a good look. Now for the specs and performance, and the most interesting and exciting part is that the Pixel 6 is powered by the Google Tensor with 5G support and the Titan M2 security co-processor, backed with 8 GB of LPDDR5 RAM and 128 GB of UFS 3.1 storage. Now, I'm not sure about other regions, but in the UK, I believe the 256 gig is only available in the Stormy Black and the Sort of Seafoam models. As Tensor is Google's first ever in-house design processor, it could be a massive game changer for speed, image processing for pictures and videos, security, battery life, and one thing we are most interested in finding out is long-term OS version support. Look, they've said 5 years of security, but we need to know about OS version support, so hold that thought. We're gonna come to that later on. Now, unless I stand corrected, which I will mention in my full review later, it should be based on a 5nm process and on an 8-core design split in a 2-2-4 configuration. Now, the two most powerful cores should be running at a maximum 2.8 GHz, then followed by 2 cores running at 2.25 GHz, with 4 efficiency cores running at 1.8 GHz, and what should be the Mali G78 GPU. You also do have the latest Wi-Fi 6E, Bluetooth 5.2, and dual SIM support with 1 eSIM and 1 nano SIM. Now, this is all I can mention for now, so don't come after me just yet. And I usually don't do this, but I think when allowed, I might do a separate video for benchmarks and gaming performance. So let me know if you want to see that. Now for the camera hardware and specs. And if you thought Tensor was exciting, then I think this is the one that we've been waiting for, as finally we get all new camera hardware features since as far back as the Pixel 2. Now, let's break it down. The Google Pixel 6 is using a dual rear camera setup and a single selfie for the front. We're gonna break it down. Let's start with the main one. The main wide sensor at the back is an all new 50 megapixel sensor with an f1.85 aperture, 1.2 micron pixel size, an 82-degree field of view, and a 1/1.31 image sensor, and that supports up to 7x digital zoom with super res zoom. Then the ultra wide, which is a 12 megapixel lens, and it does have an aperture of f2.2 and a pixel size of 1.25 and 114-degree field of view with lens correction. Last, the selfie is an 8 megapixel sensor with an f2.0 aperture, 1.12 pixel size, and also an 84-degree field of view. Boy, those camera specs are stacking, but you know what? There is also a laser detect AF sensor with OIS for the wide, and also backed with electronic image stabilization EIS. Hey, boy, let me tell you this now. I can't show you much when it comes to the new features, photos, video samples, but look, just be ready for a full camera comparison very soon, because that's how we throw down on Lover of Tech, so be sure to check it out. But I will add this, the main camera does support up to 4K 60 frames a second, both the rear cameras can do 4K 30 and the selfie does 1080p 30. But look, more to come soon, so stick around for it. Now for the battery and charging experience on the Google Pixel 6, and it's packing for sure. It's rocking a 4,614 mAh battery, which now supports 30-watt wired charging up from 18 from before, wireless charging up to 21 watts if you use the new Pixel Stand Generation 2, and reverse wireless charging with battery share as well. All of these things, when I was reading it, man, had me excited, but like you saw my unboxing, there is no charger that comes in a box, and yes, I get it. This is the trend that's going on now, but I was really excited to try out Google's new 30-watt wired charging, but it looks like you do need the official charger from Google, because I do have power delivery chargers at 30 watts and above, and I'm not getting the claimed 1% to 50% charge in 30 minutes. Overall, so far, the battery life has been great, but look, final verdict comes in a full review because I've had it just under 2 days as of this recording. And to no one's surprise, the Google Pixel 6 is running the latest version of Android, which is Android 12, running the full Pixel Experience UI and all the benefits that come with it. Again, for this video at this time, I can only pretty much show you the home screen and nothing else as much. And as much as I don't usually cover software videos on this channel, for this time round, I might just drop an Android 12 review on the Pixel 6 when allowed. Whew, now wrapping up this longer than usual impressions video on the Pixel 6. In the UK, the Pixel 6 will be priced at $599 starting for 128 gig model. Now let's get that in perspective. That's £170 below the S21, £180 below the iPhone 13, and all things to consider, it's also £80 below the iPhone 13 mini, which all come with 128 gig. Now, without knowing everything about the Pixel 6 and how it performs until the final review, look, just have that in mind in regards to how much value Google are bringing here, which is just insane out of the gate. And that gets me excited, definitely to see the full outcome of the Pixel 6, not just testing it now in this moment, but what it represents in the long term with Google now switching to Tensor internally. Buckle up, people, we got a lot of content to fire when it comes to the Pixel 6 and many more. Let me know in the comment section below what you want to see. And these are my initial impressions of the Pixel 6. That is it for me, Ben from Lover of Tech. If you enjoy videos like this, you know exactly what to do, man. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you're part of Team TLS, the Tech Lover Squad, so you don't miss any future videos on the channel. I hope you're all safe during this time. I will catch you in the next one. Peace.